Can you talk a little bit about your media, the media you use, and your themes? You know how they work together.
Well, I again, I because I was studying with John and sort of studying the old master techniques. We did a lot of sort of study of the mediums as well. He was both a tempera painter and an oil painter, and so he sort of instilled that kind of craft in us as well. So learning our mediums, so we would learn about structure of the painting. So, anything from like the stretchers to the canvas or linen that you're working on, the grounds that they're prepared on. We learned how to make our own paints if we wanted to, and also studying a lot of different varieties of mediums that had been used through the ages. So we would also have that as a complement to the training that we were doing as well. So that was very important, and it's very important to have, very good, high-quality archival sort of preparations for your work. The work should follow the structure of a painting, made to last. It's not something that you want to have deteriorate after a few years. It should last for literally centuries if it's prepared properly and painted properly. So that's always been, part of my training as well.
That's wonderful. It's an apprenticeship in the
Yeah,
basics.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
That's just first class. And I presume you use linen quite a bit as well as your oil and
Yeah, I
tempera.
pretty much, yeah, I do use canvas for studies and things like that, but I pretty much prefer linen, oil prime linen for my still lifes and like higher finished portraits. It's just a much smoother surface. The oil priming, it has a really nice sort of touch to it when you're painting in oil. It's not sort of too absorptive. It's just perfect. So I always use sort of an oil primed linen for the sort of the higher finished paintings.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like subject matter is something that people are interested in as well, and I sort of have gravitated towards portraiture. It was always something that I really loved to do. It's a bit of a challenge, though, for me because the way I was taught and the way I really love to work is from life. So I do have a lot of still life in my repertoire because I can just set it up and paint it from life. I really
Yes.
love that interaction. I do work with models and portrait models. Usually once a week I get together with some other artists. It's very expensive, to get models to sit for you. So for a lot of artists, that's a real challenge
Of course. Yeah.
to work from life with a human. So, and it's
Mm-hmm.
also very difficult because people move and stuff like that. But it's something I love to do. And with portraiture, a lot of times, especially with commissions, you have to work from photographs, and like that has its own set of challenges. And for me, it's not as fulfilling as working from life. So this is the reason why I have such a split sort of group of works. I do portraits and I do still life. The still lifes are all from life, and that's why I love to do them, because I can work in my own studio whenever I want to on them. The portraiture, I try to do as much from life as I can, but with commissions and that, I will use photographs and stuff. So, like there's always this kind of challenge with working with portraits. It's something
Sure.
everybody that does portraiture faces.
I can imagine. I mean, to find someone who's, an exciting person or figure to do a
Yeah.
portrait of, who's willing
Mm.
to sit, for hour after hour and
Yes.
sitting after sitting and
Yeah.
not have to earn a huge amount of money to do this. That's
It's
very
difficult.
difficult. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really hard. I get
So
it.
you take it when you can get it, and like
That's
you
right.
work around that and use photographs in your practice if you have to. And I mean, it's interesting for me to go. I go to the portrait conference in the United States each year, and you know, it's funny to see so many people that have this. There's kind of like a line, and some people say, you know, everything has to be from life, and other people are like, no, you can use photographs. And it's really interesting within that community of, you know, like realist painters, how much sort of opposition there is to one or the other, you know. So
isn't that something?
It's neat to see both, and
sure.
You know, like some of the artists I really love and respect, they, you know, like they don't care. They use what they need to get something done. And,
sure.
You know, that you still have to work from life to understand the form and understand how light works, and so that's really important, and that's why the still life is so much of my practice and why I love to do it.
I know that they're very appealing to me.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So it's fun to do both, but
sure.
Yeah, if I could work from life as much as possible, that's my preference. But,
sure.
You know what? I do use photographs for portraits if I need to, and
yep.
That's just the way it is.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, Catherine. This has just been great.
You're welcome.
I'm